Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.
Hello and welcome to Glasgow. We're here in Braehead, home to Scotland's youngest ice hockey team. Now we'll have extended highlights of tonight's game with the Braehead clan versus the Cardiff Devils.
But that's not the only game we're going to be focusing on, because at the top of the table, the Belfast Giants were at the Motorpoint Arena taking on the Sheffield Steelers. And in that all-important battle for 8th spot, the final playoff spot, well, it was the Dundee Stars travelling to Murrayfield to take on the Edinburgh Capitals. Top, middle, bottom, the Elite League is very exciting.
Surely, Dave, though, it's about that all-important race for that 4th spot.
It is indeed, and of course, remember, if you finish 4th, you then get home advantage. You decide when you want to play your home game and when you want to travel for that away game. It's also bragging rights as well. You've made it into the top 4 and you're chasing down those big 3 arena teams.
It's getting exciting.
It is.
Well, let's kick off with our first bit of action. It's at the Motorpoint Arena. Here's Chris Ellis.
A massive game, second against first, and for the Steelers, Rod Sarridge back in the lineup. He lost part of his kidney earlier in the season, so great to see him when at one point people thought his career may be over. The evening began with a minute's silence for Kelly Dutium, of course wife of Todd, who tragically passed away in the week. Once the game got underway, the Belfast Giants had the better of the first session. They outshot the Steelers 11-8. This move was started by defenceman Tom Dignard. He went right-hand side. It was real perseverance from him, because then he ends up on the left-hand side as well. And strong work on the boards. Eventually sees the puck come out in front to Dowd. Pele with the other assist, and Robert Dowd against his former club. He's having a habit now of scoring against his former team. He scores his 31st of the season, surely in line to win the award for Best British Forward of the season. So 1-0 to the visitors in the first period, but the Steelers, well, they had plenty of heart, and in the second session, despite only having 5 shots on goal, they were to level, and this was strong work. You can see Phillips coming away left-hand side. He goes behind the net. This is strong as well by him. And then possession goes back to this side. The Steelers really working possession in the offensive zone well. Eventually, it comes to Hewitt. The other assist going to Colt King, and Steelers were level. They had a short power play there, effectively just 10 seconds. They had the extra man advantage, and they took full advantage there. Nice finish from in front of the net, a 9th of the season for him. So we're tied at 1-1. Now, Ryan Finnerty, the player coach, not happy with this call, an interference call. He's going to the box. Power play time in the 3rd session for the Belfast Giants. And now this man, he showed why Doug Christensen decided to tempt him away from the Cardiff Devils. Look, Pele, he picks up the puck on the wall there and scores. What a big goal that was. 2-1. 12 minutes plus to go in the 3rd session. The Belfast Giants lead in this vital game. Comes away from 1 there and scores. Delight for him. You can see it on this replay. Great finish. Pass to Carrow. We are now 2-1 Belfast Giants. So the clock was ticking. But if any team in this league can score late on in the game, can mount a comeback at Steelers. And this time it was the former Hullman Edsters. He was falling as he shot. He got a shot away though. And at 15:36 in the 3rd session, the Steelers fans were on their feet. Look here, he falls over, but through the 5-hole, we're level at 2-2. We're going to overtime. And ultimately penalty shots. Peacock first of all. Pad save to Carrow. So Burnstill, the defenceman, takes his time. Save there by Murphy. Who's going to score the first goal of the shootout? It's the defenceman Mason. Surely another contender for an all-star place. So 1-0 in the shootout. Mike Ramsey has to score for the Steelers. He goes right side and does. So we're level at 1-1. Final penalty shot now of the initial first three. It's Robert Dowd. Can he really become a villain at the Sheffield Arena? Dowd, no save de Caro. So Jeff Le Gui, he's scored countless winning goals for the Steelers this year. No, the puck runs away from him. So after the first round, we're level at 1-1. Look here. Oh, he just lost control. So second round of shots. Craig Peacock has a chance. He goes right side and scores. Looks at the Belfast fans and celebrates. So the pressure now is on Steve Burnstill. Big pressure on the defenseman. Can he take the pressure? No, he can't. Murphy gets a piece of it. And the Belfast Giants take the extra point. 1 for the Steelers, 2 for the Giants. And the final score in the top of the table clash was the Sheffield Steelers 2, the Belfast Giants 3.
So an exciting end to a crucial game there in Sheffield, and the result means that the Belfast Giants have the upper hand. The two meet again in a few weeks' time. Next up, it's Dundee versus Cardiff. But first, here's Coventry versus Edinburgh. With the details, it's Chris Ellis.
The first of 2 home games over the weekend for the Coventry Blaze. Goalless in the first session, 24 shots in all. And the disallowed goal, this one, James Ashton calling off a high stick there by Menton. So no goal. Protests from Coventry, especially Hirsch, and his protests were answered, and it was no goal. Coventry, though, went ahead. Russ Cowley, playing up front at the moment, scored. Broke away right-hand side. 2:14 got in the second session, 1-0 the Blaze. It all went Coventry's way in that second period. Then Farmer working some magic on the right-hand side. That was 2-0 at 24:05. This looked like 3-0, but it was waved off by Ashton. Fussy alleged to have kicked it in. So it stayed at 2-0 Coventry Blaze, but it continued to go their way, and there was more and more action on the Edinburgh Caps net. This one sneaking in, Krall. It took a few bounces, I think, but Krall scores his first of the night, and it's 3-0 Coventry. Still, the pressure was on. Guthrie involved here. It's bouncing loose, and Owen Fussy scores his 34th of the year on the rebound, so 4-0, and everything is in Coventry's favour. But 14 seconds later, a wicked deflection at the other end. Hansel making it 4-1. Maybe a start of an Edinburgh comeback. They need it. They're in that prime position for the playoff place, but no, into the third session. Owen from behind the net for Krall, so that's 5-1. But to be fair to Edinburgh, they did make a fight of it. Good move there. Hartman and Yarrowling combining. Mackenzie with his 14th of the year. Still time for one more goal, and it went Edinburgh's way. Again, good work by them. At the back door was Petrina, as 2nd of the year. But Coventry, they get the win on the Saturday, their first win of the weekend, and it's 14 straight losses for Edinburgh. Blaze 5, Edinburgh 3. An important night for Dundee, looking to close the gap on the playoff places, and Cardiff were playing their second game in Scotland in as many nights. But a home side giveaway saw a 2-on-1 break between Pearce and McRae, and the latter scored his 22nd goal of the season. Dundee needed some magic to get into it, and it was McGough who came from his own zone, fed the puck to Conkle. Thank you very much, he said. A 20th goal of the year for 1-1 then, before the 10-minute mark. Things got feisty then, and the Cardiff Devils player coach Gerard Adams going toe-to-toe with Chris Saab, the defenceman. A lot of holding on at this stage, both players trying to get their hands free really to throw some punches. Both unable to do so really. The fight was broken up by the linesman, and neither player really able to get many clean punches. Hughes this time, the player coach, leading things forward for the Dundee Stars, and that final touch was this time McGough on the power play at 10:19. The Dundee Stars went ahead, and then Dolan came out the corner, so strong he was, and McLean walks out in front. It's 3-1 Dundee, 6:19 into the third session. It's going their way. They're chasing Edinburgh down, but wait. That's 3-2. Van der Beeken, a blast from the blue line. And then McRae, he gets his second of the night. Look, sneaks in. The defence couldn't clear it. We're tied at 3-3 at 54-10. Now watch very closely. Not a nice moment for the backup for Dundee, Mark McGill. Gets the puck in the face. Coach Hughes sees it straight away, but look. couldn't get out of the way quick enough. And he's got a big cut, as you can see from this shot. So he's taken from the ice. So 3-3. And short-handed now, the Devils. They break away. A giveaway. It's strong work there. And McRae scores his hat-trick goal at 57-57. What a heartbreaker for Dundee. Final score. Stars 3, Cardiff 4.
Okay, time now to take a break, but make sure you stay with us as we've got plenty more action for you coming your way from the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. This week we're at the Braehead Arena.
There was plenty of crucial games in this very important week of Elite Ice Hockey League action. Here's Chris Ellis to talk you through some of Saturday's games, including a very emotional trip for the Five Flyers to the NIC in Nottingham and the Sheffield Steelers home game against the Hull Stingrays.
An emotional night at the National Ice Centre with Five Flyers playing in their first game since player coach Todd Dutiam lost his wife Kelly. And they took the lead. Scrappy goal in the first session for Schoon to score his first goal for the club. There was a nice touch before the game as the Panthers players and the officials, the referee and linesman, went along the line and shook the hands of the Fife players as applause rang out the NIC. And they scored again, a 5-on-3 power play goal for Hart Manners, an 11th of the season. The Panthers players' wives and girlfriends led the crowd and raised over £4,000 for the Dutiam family, including daughter Olivia. And the Panthers scored their first goal. Good work from Benedict and then Fox. Beauregard with his 36th of the year. A nice goal for Fife to go 3-1 up. Wilson there coming away from Myers. And suddenly a 2-goal advantage once more. Nottingham changed their netminder. Back up Dan Green, replaced by Craig Kowalski. Matt Francis created Nottingham's second, one end of the rink to the other. Corey Nielsen mopped up then. 3-2, 5 minutes into the third session. Face-off win here for Fox, and then Lee just rings it around the boards. And the feed from behind the net is from Beauregard, and Benedict scores. He levels at 3-3. Now earlier, Fife were given a delay of the game penalty for displacing the net. And of course, with less than 2 minutes on the clock, if you do that, it's a penalty shot, and just in the corner there, you see Thomas Muir do it. In fact, there's 39 seconds to go. Tom Darnell comes across, and he remembers it's a penalty shot. So Beauregard has a chance to win it for Nottingham. He scores. It's so harsh on Fife. They played their hearts out and deserved at least a point. Final score, the Nottingham Panthers 4, the Fife Flyers 3. This was a dare not lose game for the Sheffield Steelers. And of course the Stingrays, well, they still need points to keep them in those final playoff places. So all to play for at the Sheffield Arena. And things got started with player coach Ryan Finnerty. Good work from him left hand side. Clark also involved. And the shot comes from left side before coming out to Ramsey for a 25th of the season. Neil Clark in good form since coming back into the side. Goals for him and assists. Boucher, you see here, waiting for the shot here. The backhand shot there by Clark, saved by Boucher. Two stops really, but he could do nothing with the rebound. And it's 1-0 Steelers then in the second session on the power play. Now, the Steelers' owner, Tony Smith, called this performance by his side diabolical, but still backed them to win the league. There were 2 goals in the second session. This, the second of them. Nick Duff, his first goal for the club, assists to Esders and Clark. 25-59, so 2-0 to the Sheffield Steelers, and they seemingly looked on their way to a convincing victory. But the Hull Stingrays pulled up their sleeves in the third session. They had 22 shots, and with Phillips in the box for interference, a nicely worked goal. Cloutier and Tendler involved, and Osman there with his 22nd of the season to make it a 2-1 game. Well worked by the Stingrays, and Woolhouse is beaten, but he did lead them to another win, a close one in Sheffield. The Steelers 2, Hull 1.
Coach, sum that weekend up for us, if you would.
Oh, it was a tale of two games. I think, I thought on Friday against Belfast we played well, had every chance to win that game. It goes into penalties and it's a bit of a crapshoot then. But like I said, we haven't lost in overtime or penalties yet, so we were pretty confident going in. And obviously, guys were pretty down after the game after we lost. But reality is, once we went into overtime, it didn't matter. Once they gained a point, we still had to win 2 games in Belfast and win, all the way there and all the way out. So. I kind of thought that after it went into overtime, given them that point, even if we got the 2, we still need to get 2 wins up there. So didn't change a whole lot at that point. And then, you roll in tonight and it's, 2 different games, 2 different teams, 2 different atmospheres. I mean, we didn't play good today. I kind of expected a bit of a hangover from last night. The game was so intense and there's so much on the line.
Like an emotional drain that coming into the second game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard if you're not in sport to understand that. You can tell before the game, guys were still thinking about last night, and it's tough to say move on when you go through something like that. I mean, it was probably the best game this year, I think, for the Elite League, and it was end to end, and to come that close and not get the second point was painful. But at the end of the day, there's not enough time to dwell on anything. We got the 2 points. We have to move on. We'll be a better team on Thursday. We know that. A few days here to clear our head and get back to work on Monday and kind of start fresh again. And we're not out of it yet, and that's the biggest thing we said. We're not out of it yet. We can still control our destiny here. The mountain's a bit steeper, but like I said, we still got a chance.
Now, it's never easy to cope with the pressures of being a professional coach in sport, but when you then combine that with still having to be an effective player for the team, it makes it a very tough job. 8 out of the 10 clubs in the Rapid Solicitors Elite League use player coaches. One of them is Sheffield Steelers' Ryan Finnerty, who's revealed that this will be his last season in that role after choosing to retire from playing at the end of this season.
Ryan, first of all, what have you made of your first year as a player coach?
It's been good. It's been interesting, definitely. Obviously pretty stressful and a lot more involved than I think when you take the job on. There's a lot more off the ice and you encounter a lot more on the ice than I think you perceive when you first get it. Your game kind of becomes second nature when you're trying to deal with the whole picture of the team and how it's playing and day-to-day stuff. You kind of tail a lot of it off your game, and I think that trying to combine and get a good mixture of the two is probably been the most difficult. The hardest part is when you're a bench coach, there's a separation between you. You can go out and tell somebody to do something, and you never expected to go do it yourself. When you're a player coach, it's pretty tough to tell somebody to go out and do something that you're not prepared to do, or harp on somebody for doing something that possibly you're not doing that night. And you got to look at yourself in the mirror before you can really start directing traffic at other people. So I think a lot of times that's a tough situation, is you can't obviously come down and discipline everything, as opposed to a bench coach who could sit back and basically pick the game apart from behind the bench, because it's a lot easier from the crowd and from behind the bench than when you're actually on the ice. And when you're adapting, you got a split second to make a decision. Whether you make the wrong one, from the stands it looks pretty easy, but when you're actually playing out there, it's sometimes you get games that it's just not going your way, and you have to understand that.
You had to fire your first player. How was that?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's on your mind all day until you do it, and you think about what to say, and it never comes out the way you want it to. And at the end of the day, it is a business, and it is what I'm here to do. But yeah, it's not an easy decision. Moving guys on, and you do feel for them when they leave the office, and you do your best to make contacts and to see if you can get them on to another team or move them on somewhere else. And
the talk is that you're going to hang the skates up at the end of the season, and you're just going to put on the suit and get the Brill cream out for their hair. Is that true? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah. I think this will be enough. I think it's definitely time for me to step back and have somebody else come in and fill my shoes. And I think at the end of the day, obviously I'll be a better coach. It's tough when you can't play the way you want to play every night, and through injuries, and you can't do the things you used to be able to do. And it would just be nice to get out of bed, to hop out of bed one day and not have to roll out, and with the pain that comes from back injuries. And I think I don't think I'd be doing myself or the team any favors by playing another year.
How big an achievement would it be to retain that trophy that sits next door so proudly?
Yeah, I mean it's we've had our eye on it now for a long time, and we've been chasing Belfast, and we're in a situation where we can still, we're not out of it yet. It's a big mountain to climb, but the way it's gone the last few years is you can't afford to drop more than 7 or 8 games and expect to win the big one at the end of the year. So, but like I said, we're optimistic. I mean, we can't even start thinking about Belfast now because we got to go to Braehead, then we have Cardiff at home, Braehead at home. So we have a tough week this week before we even start thinking and looking forward to Belfast.
Finally, are you enjoying this? Is this something that you can describe as being fun?
I think I'm enjoying it. It is a stressful experience, and it is something you take home with you, and you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you think about. And having Neely Ash around me every day helps a ton. It doesn't make the job feel so lonely. And we got a great group of guys. To go in the room every day, your guys are laughing, enjoying their time here, enjoying playing hockey in Sheffield. So it does make it. It is fun, but at the end, when it's not going right and it's going bad, it can be pretty bad.
Time now to take a break, but coming up we've got all the reaction from tonight's game of the Braehead Clan versus the Cardiff Devils, as well as the rest of the action from around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Now, it's only a few hours to go until face-off here in Braehead, so that can mean only one thing. I have to ask you, Dave Simms, what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to win?
I think Jay Galbraith will celebrate his birthday with a victory, Anna.
Why?
Well, I just think the Braehead Clan are riding this wave of momentum at the moment. The Cardiff Devils come into Glasgow without Frank. That's going to be an important loss for them. They'll only play the 4D, and they're going up against the biggest offensive fourth, Kristanovic. They're going up against Galbraith. They're going up against Bayrak, McPherson, and I just think it'll be too much for the Cardiff Devils to handle. I think the Glasgow punters here tonight will go out singing happy birthday to Jay Galbraith on the back of 2 points.
They've got a great crowd behind them, surely, as well.
Well, 3,000 they're expecting in here tonight. It's really taken off in Braehead. It's really taken off in Glasgow. Bannister's done a great job, and I keep using that momentum word. Braehead have got momentum right now, and I think it will continue throughout this evening.
OK, well, let's see if Dave's right. It is time now for the Braehead Clan versus the Cardiff Devils.
Are you ready, folks? Pitter patter, let's get at it. McRae versus Kristanovic in the face-off circle, and it's a win for the former Colorado Avalanche. If you're just joining us, the Braehead Clan, the home team here in Glasgow in their white uniform, Cardiff in their black strip, left to right under a bit of pressure, and the man on the boards there was Phil Hill. Drew Bannister gets the puck in deep. Here's a chance for Mitchell. He'll get it back and try and feed Galbraith. He's interrupted though by Pearce. And Pearce, that's what Pearce does so well. He just turns and he's gone, isn't he?
He's a player, and he's got great moves. He sees the ice very well, and he's got 2 speeds, fast and faster.
Phil Hill, the big winger, drives one into the middle. Pearce shoots and scores! Early doors, 41 seconds. It was a deflection that got to Pearce.
Right here, it takes a funny bounce. It goes to the point. They just throw it on net, off the defenseman's foot, and Pearce, he does a great job. Just stand there, wait for the puck to come to him, and the goalie has no chance.
Kristanovic. Bayrak, Bannister still wants it. Kristanovic has it. Off the walls to Bannister, takes the shot, denied. Chance out for Galbraith. He shoots, he's denied again by Stevie Lyle. Forehand, backhand Galbraith. Lyle just got his leg down, important save. Back to Wedderburn. It's going to come out to Phillips, and it's the breakaway, it's Dobbin. Short-handed breakaway. Dobbin, Summerlinen, Dobbin shoots, Summerlinen denies.
There are some great saves by Stevie Lyle right here. Doing a great job of blocking the shot. Here comes great save.
It was a great save as well, wasn't it, by Summerlinen?
Oh, yeah.
early doors. Big hit from Bayrak. Wedderburn gets beaten by McRae. 3-on-2 down low. Here is Pearce again. Pearce backhand, denied, rebound, goal! This time it's Stuart McRae, but it was Pearce that made everything again.
Right here, great move by Pearce, comes in, makes a shot, Simmerline and lets the rebound go. McRae stops by the net right here, takes to the net, 3-on-2, backdoor in. Right now, you know, those 2 hits by Phil Hill have got the Braehead clan rattled. They're running around. Right now, giving up 2-on-1s, odd man rushes, and they've capitalized twice in a row.
Playing in his testimonial here. Ajax takes a shot, just got through. Campbell from close range. Law quick to the rebound, puts his glove over it and makes that save. He's been a great servant not only to Cardiff, but to the whole British League, hasn't he?
Class guy, good goalie, you know, played the national team. He's done it all.
That's from Patch. Licks his poor coffee out there. There's Pearce, takes a shot. Deflected off Ajax. Who a minute later, Ajax and Batch, and we've got a little scrap going, and Ajax is completely, if Batch can actually stand up here, this could get ugly, because Ajax is 5'2" on skates, and Batch will feed it to him, and does. Go chasing with Bayrak. It's scrappy. Davies rewarded with some power play time. Oh, Van der Beeken! Where did that come from? Wrist shots, was there a deflection?
It just didn't look like anything's happened. He's just going to pull it in, and he uses the defenseman as a screen and just shoots a hard, quick shot. Right there, good shot. Just beats the goal cleanly.
McPherson couldn't control it. Here's Ben Davies. Davies out to Matska. Matska takes a shot, deflected. Wedderburn. Oh, they've lost it. Here's Matska. Matska takes a shot and scores! Oh, Summerlinen seeing nothing tonight. It's a disaster for the Braehead clan.
Everything here starts off a turnover right here. It's just a giveaway. And then Matska, and hey, listen, it's a hard shot. Screen again. Summerlinen doesn't see it. He's on his knees. He doesn't know where the puck is. And it's, well, right here, just a bad play by Braehead. It's a good shot.
Drew, can you try and sum that up for me?
I mean, every puck that went to our net went in, kind of. So, I mean, obviously not a good period. Not a lot you can say about it. There's not a lot of good you can take out of it. We just got to regroup. We're lucky we have 2 more periods left, and we'll try and chip away at the lead.
I mean, are you angry? Have your side been awful, or is that a bit over the top?
No, I don't think we've been awful. I mean, I thought we've had the puck most of the time. It seems like every time it's been in our end, it's gone in their net. But that can't happen all the time. So we need to find a way to keep it out of our net, and we got 2 more periods to chip away here and see what we can do.
Just as the period was coming to a close, you had words with Gerard Adams and then the bench coach Neil Francis. Is that kind of something you might need, a bit more fight, you know, in the second period?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we got to chip away, but yeah, we need to find a little bit of spirit in our game and keep our heads up. Just keep working. We got to find something in the game to be positive about, and we got to score a goal here and get ourselves back in it.
Neil, you must be absolutely thrilled. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic start by our guys, and we never expected that, especially after the road trip. Normally the first period is where we struggle up here, but you know, fair play to the guys. It was near faultless.
How do you do it? You've come here with 7 imports to a team that are never losing at home. How did Cardiff pull through?
Well, what we've been saying lately is, you know, in games where we're against a lot of quality players like Braehead have got, we have to play that near, you know, faultless display, and I think we did that. We've got to keep the puck going north, you know, not mess around with it too much, and you know, our guys were putting pucks on net, and you know, did a great job of that.
It's not one though. When you've got guys like Galbraith, Bannister, Kristanovic, you know, it's not one, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, they've got plenty of quality, and you know, these guys have been scoring all year. They're ahead in the scoring charge, people like Galbraith. We've got to be careful that we don't change the way we play, because we've got a habit of doing that lately. It's more of the same for us.
Thank you. Well done, Neil.
Thanks.
Power play strike there. Just off the power play, Jordan Kristanovic pulls a goal back.
Jorgensen does a great job. Takes the puck, walks all the way around the net. He just throws it out front. Somebody forgets to pick up Kristanovic, and then he leaves him wide open, and he's not going to miss from there.
McPherson, big man McPherson. Backhand, doesn't get to Rill. Oh, he does now. Here is Rill. Oh, finds great play, hits the crossbar, thinks he scored. Murray Hansen blows. He's asked for the TV replay. Oh. We'll see more from this angle, Strax. Or perhaps we won't.
No.
But look at McPherson on the back door there. He thinks it's in. It's a goal, the Braehead Clan score a second. Right, here's Will. 2-on-1, Bayrak the spare man, still the spare man. Sorry to cut you short there, Chris. Bayrak was on a mission. Still a chance. McPherson, goal! Stevie Law says the net was off its moorings. Chairman of the goaltending union, Murray Hansen, doesn't agree. McPherson shoots and scores. Holy mackerel. This game's turned upside down. Was 4-0 Cardiff, now 4-3.
Well, there's still a discussion going on there, but I think Murray Hansen's going to call a goal. Right there, Bayrak does a great job, picks up the loose puck, gets it in front. McPherson stays with it, just drills it in. Right there, just outworking, right here. Smith is looking for the puck instead of turning it around. Oh, we're going to watch another one. That's on. No goal.
No goal.
At the end of the first, I thought you'd be an angrier coach, but you were calm, and it's paid dividends. You're right back in this game.
Well, certainly it didn't go the way we wanted to in the first period, but the easiest thing you can do is get upset and scream and yell at guys. But the fact of the matter is we had 40 minutes to pull ourselves back into it. You know, we still have another 20. We're down 2. We'll chip away and see if we can tie this game up.
Did you look at that dressing room at 0-4 and did you think they still believe they could win this game?
Most certainly. I thought, you know, for the most part, we played not bad. I mean, the puck just ended up going in our net. Sometimes those things happen. You know, I think guys realized it in there. We just had to keep chipping away. And you see, we got some chances, and finally the puck went in net for us. And some big moments with the video replays. It added to the drama in the period. Yeah, it certainly did, and I have no problem with the video replay. I'd like to see it in every, you know, it can go either way, but it's nice to be able to see it and get a, you know, a for certain call on the plays and the goals. And funny that the crowd's right back on your side. You can feel the momentum lift, can't you? Yeah, certainly. They've been great for us all year, and we know they're going to be behind us no matter what. They've been great all year for us. Gerard, you've still got a hockey game on here, haven't you? They've come back strong, Braehead.
Yeah, I thought we were very, very fortunate in the first period to come out with 4 goals. And the second period, our gap was just, it was terrible between our forwards and our defensemen. They were just spread out too far. I thought Braehead controlled the middle of the ice, and they're a good hockey team. When you give them the puck, when you give them chances, they're going to score. So credit to them. I thought they played really well, and we were poor that period. Is going to be fatigue a problem then? Is that going to be a problem? Are you going to tie here, do you think? No, I think it's just a little bit mental. It's you got to battle through, especially with our 4 defensemen. We just have to play efficient hockey. The passes have to go tape to tape. We have to get stronger defensively. If you make that first play correctly, then you're a little bit less tired. You're using up less energy playing defense. And what sort of things will you be telling them though in the dressing room? Is that really the message? Just look at the defensive side. Yeah, just control the middle of the ice. I think they'll start pressing the game and they'll start throwing passes through the seams and through the neutral zone. We can pick off and get an odd man rush, but we got to stay back and control the middle of the ice. Okay, thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Jay Galbraith. To Campbell. Campbell's free. Can he cut to the middle and shoot? He can! He scores! Brian Campbell!
They're right back in it. Jay just throws a cross-ice one. The D gets caught flat-footed. Campbell just pulls it around and makes a great shot. Gets Stevie Lyle going the other way and just throws it right along the ice. Great shot. Nice goal.
Just got Lilly moving, didn't he? Where's the puck? Still with Jay. Jay to Mitchell. Takes a shot. Second bite to the cherry. Batch comes in. Clears the path. Batch, I thought, did a great job there. Did exactly what you would expect of your defenseman.
Did a great job right here. There's all kinds of traffic. What do you do when the puck gets down there? You start knocking guys down. Here we go. Good. There it is. Knock them down, and here comes G. They knocked them all down. Just bowled them right out of there.
You're going to love that. Galbraith was weaving down there, and he was trying to find either Kristanovic or Mitchell. But this one is over, and a thoroughly deserved victory for the Cardiff Devils. They did the damage in the first period, Rick. And they extend their lead over the Braehead clan. A great win for Jared Adams' team.
That's a really good performance from your team.
Oh, it's a great performance, you know. We've been up against it of late, missing another guy tonight, a key guy, and Chris Frank. But every guy dug deep, and it was a great win.
How do you do it? I asked the question at the end of the first period to Neil Francis. You come into a barn of a team who are loving playing at home, and you've had 7 imports. So, you know, short bench, it's a great result.
Oh, great result. You know, we've been doing it all season, and we just made the point we're not going to make an excuse. You know, we've played with 8 imports most of the year. We're not going to make excuses, so we come out hard every game.
You're probably going to meet in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Does a result like this mean anything, or is that a new book?
It's a new book, you know, but you know, as we're battling for playoff positions here, I think, you know, we can be confident when we come up here. That's 2 wins we've had here this year, so that's going to do us wonders.
Okay, well done. Cheers, Richie.
Thanks, Ed.
A great game here in Glasgow then, with Cardiff taking an unexpected victory against the Clan. After the break, we'll have the rest of the weekend's action right here on the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League show.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Time for some highlights now as we find out how the Flyers did in Hull and how those Nottingham Panthers did at the Skydome Arena in Coventry.
Another emotional night for the 5 Flyers. This time they went into the Hull Stingrays and they found themselves behind after just 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Good work from Silverthorne, Osman scoring his 23rd goal of the season. The Hull Stingrays, of course, at the moment just battling to cling on to a playoff spot, and they looked in good form in the opening stages. This time Osman and Cloutier setting up Campbell for a 9th goal of the season, 9:02 gone in the game. 2-on-1 break saw Silverthorne go it alone and make it 3-0 at 10:30. And there was a 4th goal at 13:13. This time it was Cloutier coming out the corner, and the final touch somewhere in there was from Osman, a 2nd of the night, a 24th of the season. Fife came back into the game slowly but surely, and first of all a wraparound goal for Bakralik, the 13th of the year for him. So that's 4-1. And a good situation for the Flyers because they started to come back, but not before the 2-on-0 break saw Campbell score a 2nd of the night. That made it 5-1. But then started the Flyers' comeback. First of all, a scrappy rebound, doesn't matter how it goes in. Bakralik a 2nd of the night, that made it 5-2. And the 5 Flyers were inspired and they really got themselves going in this session. Nice feed from behind the net from Cohen. Hat-trick for Bakralik. It's suddenly a 5-3 game. Things got better on the power play for the Flyers. The shot comes in from Cohen. He was the man credited with the goal. It's a 1-goal game, and suddenly the Flyers, riding a wave of emotion, are back in it. But battling from the Stingrays saw them go further in front. Rodin with perseverance. He made it 6-4. And then just 49 seconds into the final session, over the shoulder, an Osman hat-trick. And suddenly, the Flyers have more work to do. They didn't give up, though, and Danny Stewart had space on the power play in the right circle. He scored, but that was the end of the scoring. Final score, Hull 7, 5 Flyers 5. The biggest game of the weekend came in Murrayfield, with Dundee knowing that they had to win to realistically keep in the playoff race. But the home side went ahead. Zemberg's on the rebound, an 18th of the season, and they were suddenly leading in such an important game. That was the only goal of the first period. The second period started 1:38 in. Menton credited with that one. Attempt of the season, and in this all-important game, the home side were leading by 2-0. But Dundee needed something, and they found it in Dolan. Scrappy goal on the doorstep, but it counted. That at 5:38 into period 2, so we had a 1-goal game. But Edinburgh stepped it up. Nice finish there from Zembergs, high over the shoulder, and 19th of the year. Goal machine Yarrolin became the first player to hit the number 40 mark this season. That made it 4-1. Dundee, though, still weren't finished with. Backhand, top shelf from McLean, a 19th of the year. It's 4-2. Still time for more goals in the second session. This was a nice move from Zembergs, a 20th of the year. That made it 5-2, and just one goal in the third session. A neat breakaway goal from Haleko, a 12th of the year for him. Such an important game, such an important finish for the home side. Final score, Edinburgh 6, Dundee 2. Nottingham beat Coventry 10-1 in the Challenge Cup at the start of the season. They've tied in the same competition, but in league encounters, the Blades have had the better. 3 wins to Nottingham's 2. And the home side went ahead, give away from Brock Wilson. McLean there scoring at 1:43, only his 6th goal of the season. But Nottingham went on a 5-on-3 power play, and they were dangerous. Corey Nielsen involved, David Clark too, and on the rebound there, Jordan Fox, so he levels it up at only 5 minutes and 22 seconds. But Coventry, well, they were strong all night, and there, Robert Farmer's shot tipped in by Owen Fossey, so 2-1. Fossey's 35th goal of the season. Big hit there from Domish on Francis, and it's hits like that that really got Coventry fans behind their team. But Nottingham, they weren't done yet, and they came from behind for a second time. A good move down the left-hand side, Rhett Gordon involved, and the final touch from somewhere just in front was Rynan, and he scored his 3rd of the year to make it 2-2. So that was the score at the end of the first session. In the second, Kral away from the boards, and he scores his 1st of the night. 22-24, it's a 3-2 game to the Coventry Blaze. Now, Guy Lepine, another fight for him, and Jernick. They've gone before this season, and Lepine getting the better of that one. An uppercut there, a big one on Jernick. He goes down, and Lepine with the victory in that one. But Wilson, who gave the puck away for the first goal, had a hand in Nottingham's 3rd. The final touch from Matthew Myers. So Nottingham level now, and we see a 2-2 game at the end of the second period. But Coventry got stronger. Kral started the move, Owen and Weaver combined, and Kral got his 2nd of the night at 48-25. Face-off win Cowley there, and Wu Sang Park with his 6th of the year. That was the icing on the cake. Nottingham beaten for the first time in 6. The Blades make it a 4-point weekend. Coventry 5, Nottingham 3.
So this is how the league table looks right now. The Belfast Giants, they're still sitting top of the table. In 2nd is the Sheffield Steelers, 3rd the Nottingham Panthers, and that all-important 4th spot is still going to the Cardiff Devils. In 5th is the Braehead Clan. Down in 10th, it's the Fife Flyers.
So, fixtures for Saturday the 10th of March. The Edinburgh Capitals taking on the Belfast Giants. Cardiff entertain the Coventry Blaze. Hull Stingrays take on the Nottingham Panthers, whilst up in Fife, their first home game since the tragic loss of Kelly Dutiam, a game against the Dundee Stars. Sheffield entertain the Braehead Clan. Flip forward 24 hours to Sunday the 11th of March, and at the Skydome Arena, the Fife Flyers are in town. Dundee take on the Braehead Clan, Edinburgh entertain Belfast, and the Sheffield Steelers take on the Cardiff Devils. Midweek hockey action sees the Fife Flyers take on the Hull Stingrays, and the final of the Challenge Cup between the Nottingham Panthers and the Belfast Giants. Flip forward 24 hours and the Coventry Blaze take on the Edinburgh Capitals, who have a long bus ride back to Murrayfield to take on the Cardiff Devils on Thursday the 15th of March.
Dave, let's just touch on a couple of games there. The Scottish Derby, Fife Dundee. That game's going to be an emotional night, isn't it, for both the fans and the players?
It is indeed, and you've got to remember the Dundee Stars have got a hockey game to win as well. For the Fife players and the Fife fans, it will be the first time that the Flyers have returned to the old barn in Kirkcaldy since the sad passing away of Kelly Dutiam. So the emotions that go there, how do Fife react to that? But
they'll all get behind the team.
They're going to get so much behind the team, but you know what it's like then for the team going in. You don't want to ruin the parade almost. It's so awkward a situation for the Dundee Stars, but a game that they must win. And if they're going to make 8th place and the playoffs, they have to beat the Fife Flyers in Kirkcaldy, and I think it's a game that they can win.
I wish them the very best.
We do.
Also, Challenge Cup final, Nottingham-Belfast. That is going to be a corker.
It's going to be a great game, and again, on many levels. How do the Belfast Giants go into that series with Nottingham? Will they have the league wrapped up by then? Will it still be a dogfight with the Sheffield Steelers? So will they be fully focused on the Challenge Cup? The Nottingham Panthers, on the flip side, they have an incredible opportunity to win not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive Challenge Cups. What an achievement that will be for Corey Nielsen and the Panthers. And when so many people knock Nielsen Nielsen because he hasn't delivered the league. They forget he's delivered the playoffs, and they forget he's delivered the Challenge Cup, and that's a difficult competition to win year on year.
Certainly is. Well, you can see all of those games right here on Sky Sports. We're back next Friday, the 16th of March on Sky Sports 3 at midnight, and then the show will also be repeated the next day at 7 o'clock in the morning. So don't forget to set your Sky planners for that one. Well, that's just about all we've got time for tonight. Thank you for watching at home from Dave and myself. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.